Hi there, folks. It would help if I'd actually added myself to the live, rather than just you staring at a blank screen, wouldn't it? How are we doing? Hi, Tony. Hi, Scott. Hope you're both doing okay. It's pretty cold. Oh, and Diane as well. Hi, Diane. It's pretty cold here. I've got a nice hot cup of tea. It's just an empty mug that I was using earlier on. Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow. Hi there. Nice to meet you. I've got a lovely Sarah from Tarot by Peachy. This is the most amazing person. So Sarah, Tarot by Peachy, sells indie tarot decks and is based in Glasgow. So check out her website, Tarot by Peachy, and have a look at the decks that she's got for sale. I always see Sarah when I do the Glasgow Witcher Bazaar. Can you hear me okay, by the way? I should have checked. Sometimes, well, I'm managing to embarrass Sarah, so I'm assuming that means that my audio is fine. Yeah, I normally see Sarah when we do the Glasgow Witcher Bazaars, because as you know, I tend to read at them downstairs. Sarah usually has a stall selling her amazing products upstairs. Usually right beside the lovely Marion, who we all know and love. So anyway, yeah, Sarah's amazing. Sarah's business is amazing. Check it out. Diane, Scott, Tony, if one of you lovely people wouldn't mind posting a wee link to Sarah's website, that would be great. But anyway, I'm here to do readings today. This would normally have been my live with Simon, and we still are, but today we were supposed to be doing a throwback to the Heindel Tarot. However, Simon wasn't able to go live today, so we're pushing that back till next week. I believe it's next week anyway. We're pushing it back, and I thought I'd just come on myself and do some readings for you. So if anyone's got any questions for the cards, then please pop them in. What I'll do is I'll kick this off with some general, but kind of not general. You'll see what I mean. Some readings. So let me turn the camera down. So I've already cut the deck into 3 packs. I saw Vincent Padici doing this years ago, and I thought it was quite a cool idea. So actually, let's get the lighting right to start off with. Oh, thanks, Dan. So the way I'm going to do this is I've cut it into 3 packs. I've turned over the top card from each pack. So we're going to essentially get 3 general readings here. And I've picked 3 quite nice cards, I think. So this reading is going to be, so we'll get the 10 of Cups on top. So if you are looking for a reading on, maybe it's your family life, maybe it's your love life, you know, your emotional self, essentially. And we're starting off with the 10 of Cups there. So let me move these aside. So we've got the 10 of Cups. So keyword there is success. So this is the Heindel Tarot. We've got keywords. Success, to me, 10 of Cups is emotional fulfillment at its fullest. Tens for me talk about completion of the cycle. They talk about quite often like passing on of things, passing on of knowledge, passing on of, you know, safety, security, all those kind of things. So for me, we're really looking at a scenario where we're creating a safe environment, a safe emotional environment for not just us, but we're passing on to someone else. So this really talks about the home for me. Really secure, successful, stable, you know, heartfelt home, family type thing. So that's the situation. We move into the 6 of Wands. You can see the keyword is victory. The 6 of Wands is, you know, it's harmony and the kind of a passionate realm. So there's a real sense of victory in the home life there with the family and the home life. There's a sense of that we'll really achieve something. We've overcome something. Remember, the 6s are reconciliation. It's not just like, yay for the sake of being yay. It's like there's been some tough times, but we're past that now, and we're in a really good place. So maybe, the situation we're looking at here is someone's family life. If this resonates with you, then great. Maybe there's been some tough times in your family lately, but it's like you've turned a corner and things are really starting to feel great. Outcome, we have those Three of Swords. Now, threes to me are creativity, creation, expansion, all that kind of thing. Swords is very much a card of the mind, a suit of the mind. So there's learning, there's understanding there, there's gaining new information. Now, there's no getting away from, well, the key word there is mourning. There is no getting away from a lot of the symbolism we see with Three of Swords cards. That is, it's a lot of this painful and difficult imagery. So maybe this is saying enjoy the good times while they last. Maybe this is saying, maybe this is kind of look, when I was talking about, there's maybe been some tough times, but we're turning a corner. Maybe this is just kind of talking about roughly what that's about. So maybe there's been a loss in the family. Maybe there's been some difficult times. But, that middle card there is we're really getting ourselves to a place where things are we're kind of almost getting back to, we're I don't want to say getting over, because that's a horrible term of phrase to use for this kind of thing. But we're really, what am I trying to think of? Someone help me out. There's growth and acceptance. And it's, the Three of Swords, it's a difficult thing to go through. It can be painful, even when we're talking about this kind of a gaining of new knowledge, new understanding, expansion of the mind. That can be a painful process. But once you kind of get yourself into that process, then I can hear my dogs moaning in the background. Once you've kind of gone through that process, then that's when we start to experience the growth and the more positive side of it. So that's turning the corner on it, yeah. So that's reading one. That's the Ten of Cups. The next stack, we started with a Hierophant. So this to me would be applicable if you are, trying to learn something new. Maybe you're going back to school, maybe you're going back to college, maybe you are trying to gain some new understanding. Maybe it's just a kind of a personal study thing. Maybe this is about like self-development, self-expansion. The advice card is the Father of Wands in the East, so that's the King of Wands. So when I see King of Wands, to me, kings have an air element to them. They are, this is obviously a very fiery person, but the kings have this kind of a social responsibility. So there's always this dual aspect to the King of Wands for me, where on one hand, there's the responsible side of him, where he oversees a lot, he's in charge of a lot, and he really needs to kind of have that he has that responsibility for a lot of people. But at the same time, there's that fiery, there's that kind of a wanting to get in there and about it and get his hands dirty, he wants to get involved. He's not content just to kind of sit back and oversee all of the time. So there's really this kind of there's this dual aspect to the King of Wands. So I guess, when it comes to, learning new stuff, gaining new knowledge, this could be saying, like, you need to kind of come and go with it. You need to be, words are really failing me because I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say, and the words that aren't springing to mind. So maybe this wasn't a good day to do this. But it's about being flexible. That's a very simple word that I was struggling to think of. It's about being flexible. It's about willing to, get in there and study and gain that knowledge, but at the same time, maybe you've got other stuff going on and you need to make sure that's all kind of taken care of as well. So it won't do just to throw yourself into this new thing and that's all that takes your attention. Maybe you've got family to look after, maybe you've got dogs like me, maybe you've got other stuff that does still need your attention too. So don't just give this your all and think that that's going to be good enough. Like that, there does need to be a wee bit of come and go with it. There needs to be a wee bit of flexibility. I don't actually know what pile of cards I was reading from now. Oh well, we're going with this one. Okay, we've got the Seven of Swords coming out at the end there, and the key word there is uselessness. So these are like really sorry, Sarah, that's quite rude of me. I'll take you off the screen. So quite often when we start something new, we tell ourselves, right, I need to stick by this and I'm going to stick by it till the bitter end. It can be quite difficult to look at something and say, right, do you know what? I tried this and it's not working for me. A lot of us will kind of do that 10 of Wands thing where you're like, no, I've started it and now I really need to stick by it. Now I really, even though it's making me miserable, even though it's not really serving any purpose anymore, I've started it, so I need to finish it. I'm committed. I need to be committed. Sometimes the right thing to do for us and for other people is to know when something isn't serving you anymore and to draw a line under it and move on. Swords card to cut it out and say, right, enough is enough. That was good. Well, it was a good thing to try and I'm glad I tried it. Learned a lot from it, but I'm going to move on from it because it's no longer serving me. So there may well come a time in this endeavour when you think, right, enough is enough. Or maybe it's not so much like, right, that's going in the bin. Maybe it's just, right, that's not quite working for me the way that I set out to do it. How can I like change? How can I like morph this? How can this be applied differently? So how can I take what I'm doing, and still like use the learnings from that, but something needs to change. Do you know what I mean? So be open to that. Don't just stick like that. This was my plan that I made on day one, therefore I need to stick to this plan to the letter, no matter what. We need to be, especially in today's world when everything's changing all the time, we need to come and go with things. We need to be adaptable. We need to change with the times. We need to be flexible. King of Wands, be flexible. Okay, so that was the second reading. The third reading, we start off with the Father of Stones, so essentially the King of Pentacles. So this might apply if we're looking at our careers or our kind of, our financial lives, maybe just more our reality, our kind of our everyday lives, the stuff that we do every day that sustains us. The Mother of Wands and the East, so we're bringing in a bit of fire there. The Father of Stones or the King of Pentacles can be, I'm doing it again, I'm putting the deck over with the other decks where I'm going to get mixed up, so let's put it here. The King of Pentacles can be very kind of I don't want to say boring, because it takes a lot of experience and wisdom to be a King of Pentacles or a Father of Stones. I should use the names that are on the cards. But they can be a wee bit stubborn. Old man is the title on the card there. They can be a wee bit set in their ways. What I think the Mother of Wands or the Queen of Wands is trying to bring in is just some of that adaptability, some of that fire, some of that passion. It's not all just about the way you see it and the way you want to do it. The Queen of Wands is like the celebrity of the tarot. She draws everyone in anytime she says something, everyone is fascinated by her and they want to know what she's got to say. They really value her a lot. And that's not because she knows everything. That's not because of her, her infinite wisdom or anything like that. It's because of her warm personality and the way that she kind of engages with people. So, yeah, it's important to be wise and to learn from your experience and all that. But equally, you need to engage with people. You need to have that human connection, The outcome card that we get here is the Two of Stones. Now, the keyword here is harmony. We get this real sense of balance here. For me, quite often, the Two of Stones is kind of it asks us to think about everything we're trying to do. It asks us to prioritize and really think about getting that how we have the balance in our lives. It can ask us to think about work-life balance. Really just look at all of the things that you're juggling right now and think, do I need to be doing all of this? But again, the key word here is harmony. And there's there's a really kind of an even, nice balance between, in the imagery on the card. So for me, this is about striking that balance between these two, quite different outlooks. So Father of Stones. Okay, so those were the general readings. Varying success there, but let me know what you think nonetheless. I'm taking questions, so if anyone wants to pop a question in the chat, pop it in capitals if you like. I'll probably see, there's not so many comments that I won't see it, so just pop it in the chat and I'll make a note of it. Let me see, let me stick on, there we go, pop that there. Right, let me go down and say hi to all the people that are here, because I kind of just fired in with it there. So I said hi to Tony, I saw Scott, I saw the lovely Deanne, I saw Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow, I saw Sarah, and Sarah got all embarrassed. Lovely Debbie from Aquarius Owl was here. Marita, hello lovely Marita, how are you? Golden's here, hi Golden, take a wee sip of tea, I know, blah 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 blah. And Moran's here, hi Moran, how are you? Oh, now that you're a big success in your own lives, Moran, maybe I'll be able to drag you onto one of mine one of these days. Okay, does anyone have a question for my nosy little cards that we can get all up in your business about? That's what I want to know. If you do, pop it in the chat. If you don't, then I will, I guess, just play with some cards until I get bored, and then I'll go to bed. Okay, Debbie's starting me off. A general read for next week for the lovely Debbie. Okay, a general read for next week for Debbie. I feel like doing this and picking them out, Debbie, rather than just taking them from the top. So, ooh, Cups, Ace of Swords. Okay. Right, you can pretty much see them all there actually. That's quite a nice zoomedness. So we started off in the centre with the Ace of Cups crossed by the Ace of Swords. Now, just quickly touching on the past card here, we have the Four of Swords, which here is truce. To me, that is something that you've taken a bit of a rest from. Almost, you know how sometimes people say in order to take a step forward, you need to take 2 steps back, or you just need to give a step back from the situation in order to have that big aha moment and see the way forward. I feel like that's what you've done. So you've taken the bit of a pause, Debbie. You've taken the step back to maybe see the situation in greater detail, or just see the bigger picture a wee bit. And that has led to, you've got 2 ace cards here. So that tells me, you know, we're looking at new opportunities. We're looking at new potential all around you. We're looking at, you know, if you act on it, you know, and that's the thing with aces. It's not like, you know, you're winning the lottery and all your dreams are coming true and you don't need to lift a finger. It's just happening. This is, you know, there's the potential for something new to come in. And we've got 2 aces, so there is a real strong potential and you're probably really feeling it. But you need to act on it. You need to build that up and make something of it. So that's your job. Now, where your head is at right now, your conscious card is the 9 of Stones. And this is a very kind of earthy card. It's very grounded. It's very focused on what you want and what you're going to get. Very down to earth. So that would suggest to me that your head is in the right place in terms of, you know, what are the actions that I need to take? What actual stuff do I need to do to make something of this? What I would say, though, is that we've got a cup crossed with a sword. So right now we seem to be in a place where it's like head versus heart. You know, you might find that you're in a place where you're like, right, okay, well, I appreciate this great stuff that's going on, but I'm not quite sure on the way forward, because I'm not sure, you know, what I feel like I should do or what I feel is the logical step is maybe not where deep down what I truly want to do, you know. The unconscious card, what's kind of underneath the surface, is the Fool. So it feels like there needs to be a willing to let go, to, you know, just go for it, you know, and just, you know, fuck it. Have a fuck it moment. That's what's needed. It's almost like you need to say, right, okay, like, I'm just going to go for this and trust that it's, you know, to a degree it's going to work out. This isn't the time for, you know, having the full plan of attack in place and then following it to the letter. This is a time for being spontaneous and just picking up on this new spontaneous energy and going with it. Your future card is Alchemy. Which is, you know, is the equivalent to the Temperance card. Now, given that we're looking at water and air here, we're looking at 2 different elements, almost like forces coming together. The Alchemy card in the future suggests that you're going to really make something of that. So come the end of the coming week, of next week, it feels like you're really going to reconcile these 2. And it's kind of like, you know, like the Chariot is like the bringing together of the white and the black horse, you know, bringing together those different aspects of life, different aspects of the self, and really finding a way forward that works for everyone and everything, you know. That feels like what you're going to do. It feels like there's going to be real success there. Alchemy, Temperance, whatever you want to call it, you know, for lots of people it's their least favorite card. For lots of people it's a bit of a boring card. So maybe you'll find that you know, whatever's happening after all of this, it's, you know, we're not moving mountains here. It's not like you're changing your whole entire outlook on life, changing your whole approach to how you do everything. It's not like that. You know, you'll probably find that it's kind of a like small things, you know, it'll make a small change, but it's still a major, you know, so it's still kind of a fundamental to you, and it will have like a deeper impact and a lasting impact, but it's just not like, you know, you're not going out and completely, I don't know, like See, what I want to say is you're not going out and moving house, but then Debbie will put in the comments, "Oh, I'm moving house." But yeah, anyway, that's a mishmash of my thoughts on this reading, Debbie, and how it applies to you. You can let me know what you think. And thanks very much for your question. Very kind. And then we have the lovely Tony. I'm going to get down and just start. So Tony's questions on the screen. I'm making a note of Sarah's question. Marita says, are you using a particular spread? For that general, it was like basically the first half of the Celtic Cross. But depending on if someone, well, I suppose that is a particular spread, isn't it? It's the Celtic Cross minus 4 cards. But depending on what the question is, I'll chop and change. I just like being here listening to your Scottish prologue. Oh, thanks. Thank you so much. Do you know who has a nice accent? This guy. Generally from Iran. Oh, hi, Cheryl. Cheryl came and got a reading from me at the weekend at Glasgow Witchy Bazaar. And Cheryl is starting an amazing like YouTube channel, yeah, because you've got a video up on your channel. I want everyone to go and subscribe to the restricted section. Subscribe to Cheryl. Now, you might look at the channel now and see, like, there's only one video. Like, I'm telling you now, subscribe to this channel and keep an eye on it. Cheryl is and Sandra, I don't know if you're here or if you're watching this later, but this is right up your street. Cheryl is doing like tours of haunted places, and what did you call it? What was the phrase you used? It was an abbreviated phrase, and I can't quite remember what it was. It was like urban exploring, but it's like haunted places that she's urban exploring. So please subscribe and keep an eye on this channel because there's going to be some amazing content on it. Okay. Arbex, and yeah, that was it. And of course, I've moved Tony's. There's it. Okay, no question. General reading, please. So a general reading for Tony. What does Tony need to know? What feels like it needs a wee riffle shuffle, Tony? Let's just get all up in that. Right. Oh. Felt like it wanted to come out. Right, sorry, I should probably zoom out here because we're not really capturing all the cards very well, are we? But then if I zoom out too much, then you see all the boring. Zoomed out too much, isn't it? Okay. So first of all, we've got the High Priestess cross with the Mother of Wands. So that's quite interesting because the High Priestess is very reserved, can be really quite quiet, absolute powerhouse, but a powerhouse of knowledge, who really appreciates the value of you know, the power sometimes of not taking action, how the best action is sometimes inaction, right? High Priestess is very demure, very mindful, okay? No less powerful, let me just re-emphasize that. But, and the reason I'm making that point quite strongly is because she's crossed by the Mother of Wands, who is very outgoing, who I was talking about earlier, very interactive, and like is a really warm personality who draws people in. Whereas I think sometimes the High Priestess, let's be honest, can be a wee bit cold. The High Priestess is the kind of person who you think she's a total bitch until you get to know her, until you actually speak to her, and then you realise actually she's really nice, or she's like, you know, she's an absolute powerhouse, or she's like really clever, you know, she's that kind of person. Whereas the Mother of Wands can sometimes be a bit of the opposite. Now, why is that even interesting? Well, because they're the centre cards, and because it's the High Priestess crossed with the Mother of Wands. So what that suggests to me is that deep down, you're very demure, you're very High Priestess, quite a bit of an introvert. But right now, for some reason, you seem to find yourself in a situation where you're Mr. and Miss or mixed popular all of a sudden, you know? So you probably find yourself in a situation where it's like, you know, people are listening to what I'm saying, or everyone's looking at me and I'm not sure how comfortable I am with it. You know, there's probably a bit of mixed feelings. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of that's where we are with that. Now, the past, the Six of Cups. So sixes for me are, you know, overcoming. It's about overcoming the five and finding that harmony. Okay, the key word here is happiness. Let's see, we've got our eye on peace. Tony, am I right in thinking you recently retired, did you not? Or you're planning on retiring? Have I got that right? I need to take the jumper off, it's getting too warm. Oh, that's better. Oh, Marian's here as well now. Marian and Sarah are both in my live. It's like a dream come true. What was I asking? I was asking Tony, am I right in thinking you've recently retired? You've retired. Okay. So, Two of Swords is the conscious card. It's where your conscious mind is at. The key word is peace. Two of Swords for me sometimes is a very specific piece. It's well, it's kind of like when you're in two minds about something. It's kind of like the calm before the peace before the storm, the calm before the storm. Given what I was saying here about this, you know, this Mother of Wands card crossing with the High Priestess, it almost feels like there's something upcoming. There's something coming up where and it feels like it's to do with your knowledge, because there's a lot of swords. Maybe you've agreed to speak about something. Maybe you've said, you know, right, okay, I don't know. I'm just saying what I see in the cards here, but I feel like there's something that you've either agreed to do, or you're thinking, right, maybe I'm going to do this, you know. Maybe it's, you know, doing a wee bit of a class on something. Maybe it's speaking on a particular topic. Maybe you're doing a presentation. Maybe it's something like this where you're sitting in front of a camera and reading cards. Do you know what I mean? But it feels like it's something that you're kind of humming and hawing about. You're not quite sure how you feel about it. Sometimes you feel really good about it, and then other times you think, why did I agree to this? Why am I doing this? The unconscious card, what's underneath is the Nine of Swords card. Now, the key word there is cruelty, but I actually pulled this through the week, and so I was reading, I've got the the books that go with the Hango Tarot, Rachel Pollock's books. And she talks about how this was cruelty, but it's now looked more as like agonized thought. So it's like you're thinking things over and over and over, and it's still cruelty in a way, but it's self-inflicted cruelty. Do you know what I mean? It's like the power of overthinking. So just be really conscious of how you're treating yourself, I guess, is what I want to say. Particularly if any of this is resonating and ringing true. If what I'm talking about, like all of this stuff, if there's something that you're doing that you've agreed to do, that you're going to do, like, be confident. And that's where we're coming out with the Emperor ultimately. Be confident. The Emperor, right next to the Mother of Wands, have that confidence, that belief in yourself, because you absolutely can do this. And the Emperor suggests whatever it is, you're going to, you are going to make something of it. You're going to absolutely kill it. It's going to be brilliant. But you do need to have that confidence in yourself. Aries, self-worth is everything to an Aries. That's their thing. They know who they are. They know their worth, and they won't let anyone talk them down from that. So you kind of need to find that. You need to break that stalemate that we see there in the Two of Swords. And whatever it is, it's going to be great. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. I hope that resonates, or if it doesn't right now, I hope that it turns out to be helpful. Whew, okay. Right, the lovely Sarah's next. I'm so excited to be reading for you, Sarah, because I think you're fantastic. And I've always wanted to read for you. And you've read for me before, actually. I'm sure when you were live one time, you pulled some cards for me. So now I get to return the favour. So Sarah, you're looking for a wee general. I know, I don't feel looked in a riffle. So general. Okay. Oh, right. Right, there's lots of swords energy here. This is what's down below, by the way, Sarah, the Two of Cups. You're giving yourself a really hard time, and I feel as though it's because of whatever shit it is that you've been through in the past. It's kind of like you're like, well, see this Science card, so Six of Swords this is, by the way, and so the Thoth calls this Science as well. To me, Science is like it's like when your logical mind is just like you're letting it run away with itself. Do you know what I mean? It's like where thought almost like attacks everything else. So here it's like if this is kind of a generally what this is talking about, if this is the theme, it's almost like, well, logically, I know from my experience that this is just how things go, so I know not to expect too much. Now, that the Fool was kind of like your deeper, so the small cross in the middle, I look at this as the kind of the inner and the outer, or the internal and the kind of a surface, So the Fool suggests that it's like you want to be spontaneous, you want to let go, you want to kind of draw a line under all of that bullshit and kind of just let your free spirit roam. But almost feels like this is like drawing you back and saying, but remember what happened last time, Sarah. And really how that results is on the surface. It's that self-inflicted cruelty. It's that agonized thought, that overthinking of everything. Now, what's nice is that the future card that we have is the Nine of Stones. So despite this is a moment in time, okay? And, there's no taking away from your lived experience. There's no taking away from the stuff that you've been through in the past. But look at all the fucking knowledge that you've gained. Look at all the wisdom that you've gained. Look at all the stuff that you've learned about life in general, but about yourself as well. Having been through all that. The Nine of Stones suggests to me that everything is going to be absolutely fine. Do you know what I mean? Whatever your version of, whatever you want to call it, like happy ever after, or whatever it is that you strive to be, whether that's like being content in and of yourself, or whether that's being happy with, someone, or whatever that is, you're going to get all that and more. Nines to me are like the completion. It's like the fulfillment of the suit. Tens kind of as well, but tens to me are like 10 reduces to 1, so it's like renewing the cycle. 9 is just like in and of myself. I've got everything I ever wanted. I'm happy. I'm content. And the key is material gain. So we're not just talking about like I'm spiritually awakened and my heart is full. We're talking about like the material stuff too, which, I don't care what anybody says, that stuff does matter. We all need a roof over our heads. We all need, food in the fridge, full belly. Like, we all need that stuff too. So that it's, that's all looking great. So yeah. Tangible success. As a Capricorn, I'll take it. Good. I think I need to breathe whilst I'm giving readings, because I don't know if it's because there's so many cards on the table, but I feel as though I'm just like, I go blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, oh, right, okay, breathe now. Let me just... Miran, you're up next. Ooh, Debbie's going on vacation. Exciting. Sorry, I never explained what I was doing, did I? I'm just going down in the comments and I'm basically starring any questions so as that I catch them. Hi, Stella. And hi, everyone coming in. Naomi, lovely to see you. Who else popped in? Not sure, but everyone who's popping in, hi, welcome, lovely to see you. Marion, may I have a reading? Anything you feel I need to know? Yeah, Stella, this is the Heimdall Tarot. Golden says breathing is good. Yeah. Take a drink and a breath. Yeah. Hi, Elaine. Breathing is highly recommended by medical experts, says Sarah. Yeah, totally. Right. Moran. Okay. I feel as though all the same cards keep making an appearance, but you just can see me shuffling and you can see that I'm picking them out of like randomly from the middle of the deck. Yeah, I'm like spreading it out and picking them. I'm not just like being a shitty shuffler and then taking them from the top. Oh, geez, right, okay. So we've got Ruin, the Ten of Swords, and the Future, Moran. So let's just look at what we're actually dealing with first. So underneath you've got the Eight of Swords, and the keyword here is interference, right? So it feels like there's something going on under the surface that you're maybe not aware of. Someone's there's bullshittery afoot, basically. Now, where your conscious mind is the Six of Stones. Keyword is success there. So that's very Golden Dawn, very Thoth, like the Six of Discs, the Six of Pentacles being success. I said earlier on, sixes, you actually get two sixes there. Sixes are about, harmony. It's about overcoming a difficulty and then it's like gaining back that harmony. So it's almost like you've worked hard to get to where you are. We see that as well in the Chariot. The Chariot is a big sign of success, and it's a sign of earned success, right? And I think that's the thing here. This isn't success that's been handed to you on a platter. This is success that you have worked for. What is it that it's crossing here? So Son of Wands in the East. So we're maybe looking in the realms of career here. Chariot's the end of that first septenary. So we're looking very kind of a, very reality, very kind of a like my everyday life here. The kind of a first line, which deals with mundanity, the mundane life, but not mundane in a bad way. It's like the kind of the surface level stuff, the everyday stuff. So the Chariot talks about success in that. So, and given that we've got this Wands card as well, this Son of Wands card, maybe there's a bit of a feeling of like veering towards your career here, Moran. Whatever it is, it's stuff that stuff that you're passionate about and stuff that you put a lot of yourself into, a lot of your energy into. But I think we need to be wary of this because interference below and 10 of Swords, the Ruin card, in the Future, it makes me feel like, you've worked hard to get to where you are. You're proud of where you are. And you've put a lot of, Chariot and Son of Wands, you've put a lot of yourself into this. And right now, it probably feels quite good. But it just feels like there's something happening that just could stir the pot a wee bit. I know this says Ruin, but we know how the tarot likes to be dramatic to make its point, yeah? So just be wary of that. This is maybe something to have a think about, So to me, if I was getting this reading for myself, I would be like, right, okay, well, I want to maybe have a think. I suppose just be extra aware and try and suss out, right, what is the interference? What is it that's going on? What is the external force that's coming in and trying to fuck things up? Just something to be aware of, I guess, because there's a lot of hard work that's gone in to get to where you are. if the time comes for that to come to an end, then I would like for it to be on your terms, and not because of, you know, something external coming in and messing it up. If there's going to be a, you know, a line drawn somewhere, then that should be on because you've decided that's what's to happen, and not because someone's kind of fucked about with things. So, yeah, I hope that is in some way helpful. And yeah, you can, you know, we can chat about that later if you want. Let me know what you think. Makes sense. That's good. Oh, okay. Lovely, Marion. I think you're next. Oh, Roscoe. Hi, Roscoe. How you doing? I knew I saw somebody coming in that I hadn't said hi to, so I'm glad I caught you. Davey says, I have considered finally looking for a new job, even while things are going okay in work, instead of rage quitting. My official title change to grandma right around my next birthday. Oh, that's sweet and exciting. Okay, Marion, can I have a reading? Anything you feel I need to know? So what does Marion need to know? I'm just going to keep going with this 6 cards thing. Let's see. Father of Stones in the West. Ace of Stones in the West. Okay. Okay, so we've got the Father of Stones, the King of Pence, you know, however you want to think of him. So at your core, there's lots of, you know, it's like, you know, you've gained all the experience, you've done all of this. Probably getting to a stage now where it's like, you know, there's not really much I've not seen anymore. Despite that, though, you're crossed by this Ace of Stones. So it's like, despite all of your knowledge, all of your experience, despite everything that you've done and seen, and despite the fact that you're an absolute fucking badass, there is something new coming in, you know? It's almost like you thought you couldn't be surprised, and yet here comes that Ace of Stones, here comes that gesture, that gift, that, you know, something's coming in that you weren't expecting. Like I said earlier with the aces, and like I always say with aces, it's potential energy. It's an opportunity. It's not like, you know, it's not like some Virgos coming in and handing you, you know, like basically giving you an absolute fortune. You don't need to work anymore, and you can go and, like, you know, just be a lady of luxury, and that's it. That's not what this is. This is very much like an opportunity, and it's for you to kind of build on that. With that said, I do see you building on it, because we end up with the 10 of Stones and the, you know, in the future card. So it's like, whatever that potential is, you know, if you so choose, you can make that, you can take that and completely make that what it is. No, you can take that and completely, like, take that all the way. That's what I'm trying to say. Where your mind is at now is perfection. So your mind is at, like, kind of You know, you want to make this jump, you want to make that. I think I know what this is actually. It's just occurred to me. I think this might be. We've got the moon in the past as well, so that's the unfamiliar territory. So I think this might be your deck, because you're a, you know, a very accomplished, well-established mystic. You know, tarot consultant, fortune teller, whatever title you want to make it. You've done a lot and seen a lot, and there probably isn't much that could kind of surprise you. There's probably not much that you've not done in those realms, but there's this kind of a new thing around you right now. I feel like that might be the creation of your deck. Where your head is at, where your conscious mind is perfection. It's, you know, you're absolutely focused on making this everything that it possibly could be. You know, and it's one, so it's a passion project for you. You know, it's something that you care really deeply about. What's below is the Son of Cups, Parsifal. So to me, that, you know, it's the connection aspect. It's a, sorry, I'm roasting, so I'm just using the Son of Cups to fan myself. It's so the Son of Cups and the Knight of Cups is sometimes like the kind of a holy grail thing, you know. It's like it's a quest. That's what it feels like. It's like you're on a quest, looking for your holy grail. The moon in the past says that, you know, this, to start off with, this was really scary, really unfamiliar territory, and that's, you know, you probably still, you know, it's coming up there because it is in the past, but it still maybe reaches forward and it still maybe has an impact now. But look what the future card is, you know. If I've interpreted it right and this is what it's talking about, look at that future card. Richness. It's the 10. It's the full fulfillment of the suit. And it's the, I said earlier, 10s are the passing on, and that's because this project isn't just going to benefit you. This is going to benefit countless other people. So I think that this is a sign that this project is going to be an absolute success. It's going to be perfection because that's what you've made it. So yeah, so that's what they want you to know. They want you to know that it's going to be amazing. I'm cheating a wee bit because I didn't need a pack of cards to tell me that, but it's still nice to have that reassurance. Okay. Let's see. When I divorced, what blessings are coming towards me? Okay. What blessings are coming towards you? Ooh. Okay, we had some cards flying out the deck there. Okay, so the cards that flew out there were Wheel of Fortune and then Justice, but Justice turned around. Justice came out upside down. So that I don't take that as a bad thing, by the way. I think all that's saying is it's something unexpected. It's something just completely out of the blue, and it's not something that you've, you know, it's not something that you've worked for. It's not something that you've intended to happen. It's just happened just randomly, you know. So what blessings? I suppose, kind of the definition of a blessing, I suppose, isn't it? So let's pull some more cards and see what else we've got. My camera hasn't froze, by the way. I'm just putting these together. So we feel that there's definitely something coming in, something unexpected, something that you've not had to earn. It's like unearned success. Do you know what I mean? It's like something that's come in just because. It's like a gift, or it's something coming your way that, you know, justice upside down. So it's not like the whole cause and effect connection. You know, it's Wheel of Fortune upright. It's like pure, you know, pure chance, pure luck. The Son of Stones, Eon, and then the Father of Cups. So it's not too late for a question. Just pop it in the chat, Scary Harpy. Do you know, every time I go to talk on these cards, I get a bit of a blank. I think what I'm saying. So you said that you are divorced, right? So the first kind of a stage of that, it feels like it's very Stones, so Son of Stones. So it feels like, okay, my priority here is looking after myself. My priority here is, you know, making sure that I'm doing okay, making sure that I can, you know, I can live, I can survive. I'm looked after. Stones, earth, you know, it's all about your kind of you know, your health, your safety, your security, all that kind of stuff. So that feels like, you know, that's I suppose the first kind of a step of that process. And I'm not sure how long ago it was that you became divorced, so I'm not sure where on this ladder you are, but that at least feels like the first step. We move to Eon now. Eon is like the judgment card, and to me that's like, right, it's really kind of a doing the work and process and everything that's went on and moving on from it, you know. It's not, judgment isn't an easy process to go through. It can be quite painful. It's basically makes you look at everything that's happened. This is the work. Like, it'd be nice if we could just kind of like, if it was just as easy as drawing a line in the sand and walking on. But usually the judgment card it forces us to look back at everything that's happened, and process that, and move forward with the experience, with the learnings, but leave behind the kind of the negative feelings, leave behind the shame of what's happened, or, you know, the hurt, the pain. It's the process of a cut becoming a scar. It's just got to heal, and it takes the time that it takes. So that's kind of so first we're prioritizing looking after ourselves. Then it's about, right, doing the work and actually moving on from the stuff that's happened. And then finally we have the Father of Cups in the north, who is the King of Cups. So once that's happened, then we get this. We feel that we're getting our I suppose emotional selves back a wee bit. It feels like a bit of emotional healing. We see Odin in this card now. Odin, and what we see here is him hanging upside down from Yggdrasil, the Tree of Life, in order to gain new knowledge. So he's pushing himself to the limit in order to discover the runes, in order to gain new enlightenment. So this process that you're going through, you probably do feel that it's kind of a pushing you to the limits. It's been difficult, it's been hard, but the Odin card coming out at the end is a promise of, like, you know, everything that you feel you've gone through it, you'll be rewarded for it in the end, I guess, is what it's saying. So yeah, I hope that that's helpful. Let's get that justice card the right way around. So I'm looking for a job anytime soon. A deck that I use for reading timing. Well, actually, I'll be in this bag here, 2 seconds. If anyone's wondering what I was talking about when I was reading from Marion, let me just leave that on the table there for a bit. So this is Marion's Oracle deck that she's creating with the amazing artist Terry Cottrell, and it's coming out on Kickstarter on the 7th of November, Marion, I believe. Is that right? And I've noticed, by the way, that the 7th of November is a Thursday. So, I mean, might need to have a wee release party, I think. So I've switched decks here because we are asking a question about timing. Now, when we read timing with the tarot, you take it with a pinch of salt. This isn't going to tell you, you know, on this precise day, this is precisely what's going to happen. This is basically going to look at things over the next year and see when there's most potential for change. When is there likely to be shifts? So we're looking at your career. Let's have a look and see, you know, at what points is there potential for change, and oftentimes what stuff do we need to do in order to be in the best position to take advantage of that. Okay. So we're in it's the last decan in Scorpio. So that is coming up soon. The last decan in Scorpio is November. It's mid-November. So mid-November, so next month, is potentially when you will be in a position to take up that job. These cards kind of talk to us a bit about, right, what's the work that needs done in order to be in the best position to, you know, to take up that opportunity when it comes up mid-November. So we have the 9 of Pentacles and the 8 of Wands. So the 9 of Pentacles for me is really asking you to think about everything that you've done. Think about your experience, your life experience. Now, if we're talking about jobs, then there's more than likely going to be a job interview process. You need to be able to talk about yourself in a really positive way. You need to be able to, talk about how your past experience would make you the best person for that job. So that's something to really focus on. Get a jotter, get a notebook and a pen, and start writing down examples from your past, from your history and your work so far, things that you've done. Look up online common interview questions, and really get yourself in the best position, because this is a Pentacles card. Okay, so this is very, this is advice that you would probably get if you were to ask, a career advisor or anyone else, and that's because it's a Pentacles card. It's because it's talking about the reality of the situation, the real life, the down to earth, the mundane. It's talking about the real stuff. So know yourself, know your own strengths, and be willing to talk about them to pick yourself up, I guess. The 8 of Wands as well. So opportunities may well come in fast. You need to be ready to jump on that. You need to be ready to seize those opportunities. This is a fast-paced world that we are in today. Things fly by at the speed of light, it feels like sometimes. So don't expect someone to come and just present this to you in a nice bow, and that there isn't any work being done. you need to be ready to seize that opportunity. You know, you need to be actively looking for it, and you need to be ready to seize it. And this is the thing, the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands for me is often talking about, like, you know, I set out to do this one small thing. You know, I set out to open up a small burger van, and then all of a sudden I've got this chain of restaurants. You know, it's like this, like, really leveling up. So that's the other thing. Be willing to, you know, to really up your game, and whatever it is that you're trying to do, don't downplay yourself. You know, don't, like, you may well find that the opportunity that presents itself is, you know, it's a step up from what you were expecting. So be willing and be ready to step into those shoes when that opportunity presents itself. And like I say, last decan in Scorpio, so that's mid-November. There's probably someone like Marion who's a lot better with this stuff than me. In fact, actually, now I present to you the astrological diary that I purchased from Marion, which is absolutely fantastic. But it tells you, I know it definitely gives me the dates of the 12 zodiac, but whether it gives me the decans, I'm not too sure. Let's see. So Scorpio goes up to the 22nd of November. So I'm going to say about the 12th to the 22nd of November. That's when the winds are blowing. And that's when I want you to be ready to seize the opportunity. So I suppose if there's anything to take from that, it's like, you know, I'm not telling you it's waiting 6 months. You need to be ready. You need to be ready now. So the work that it's asking you to do, let's get going with that. So I hope that that's helpful to you. Okay. That sounds right to me. King of Pentacles, Stones shows up. Oh, that's really sweet, Marion. That's really sweet. I know how much, you know, how much influence and how much he's meant to you in the creation of this whole process. So I'm glad. Oh, right. Well, I think I've come to the end of the questions. So I may well start thinking about winding down for the night, unless anyone else here has a question. If I've missed anyone, then of course shout at me and let me know. But if anyone hasn't asked a question and would still like to, then please just pop it in the chat. But good night, Golden. I hope that you have an amazing weekend. Oh, it's damn warm. Oh, you use this for ceremonial magic, Marion? That's really cool. To be honest, I've not used it all that much before. Simon and I were going to be thrown back to it, and Scott and I, well, Scott, I've had the deck in the books for years, but Scott, Andrew, who was here at the start, just recently got them. We've kind of said that we're going to, you know, do a wee study thing together on it. So yeah, it's been nice reading with it. I'm always a bit funny with decks that have got keywords. I don't know why. Sometimes I feel as though they kind of they can be distracting, and they can distract from the overall meaning of the reading, particularly when you're seeing something that you're like, I don't think that's what that's saying. But nonetheless, I've quite enjoyed reading with it. Oh, okay. Karen has popped in to say hello. Hey everyone, just got my internet back today and power back Monday after Helen hit there. Or Helen. Oh, you never use Keyword Dex for pro readings for that very reason. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine when it's just me, but like reading for myself. But it's what you say, isn't it? It's like when you're with a client and it's like there's a keyword there, and you're like, no, that's not what I'm getting. But now I feel as though I need to do extra work to explain. Do you know what I mean? Because it says there in black and white, like whatever the keyword is. Anyway, well, I don't see any more questions coming through. So, shall we retire for the evening? Thanks very much to everyone who's popped in. Thank you all so much for your questions. It's been really nice reading for you. It's been nice catching up. I've got a busy weekend ahead, actually. My face is all bright red, so it is. Got a busy weekend ahead. I'm going to my mum's for dinner, I think, on Saturday. And on Sunday, I'm going to a wedding. So I'll probably just be chilling out tomorrow because I've got such a busy weekend. So, yeah, thanks for being here, everyone. Thanks again to everyone who very kindly asked a question for me. I appreciate it. Have an amazing weekend. Take care, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.